And as you said in the judgment, you've laid down extensive guidelines. You spoke about the child marriage prohibition officer. There's community involvement. There's monitoring, accountability, and all of these have to work in consonance to remove child marriage or end child marriage. But among all these aspects, all these factors, what do you feel is one of the most important, without which we can't succeed, especially community involvement? Do you think that's one of the key factors?
I think community involvement is a key factor. Second, if you look at the whole institution of child marriage, it has been partly a product of patriarchy, a patriarchal structure, also partly a product of lack of economic development in certain segments of our society, and therefore there were certain districts in the country which were particularly vulnerable, and therefore we have identified two key areas. First, the involvement of the community. So we do not regard child marriage prohibition or the movement against child marriage only as a function of the officers of the state. Of course, they have a vital role to play. So that we have said that you must incentivize or train the ASHA workers, the Anganwadi workers, not just the prosecution wing of the state. But at the same time, we have gone beyond that. And we have emphasized on the need to incentivize parents, for instance, in terms of financial benefits. Why do parents, fall a prey to child marriage? The reason is that there is this perception that the girl child may be a burden on the parents. Or another theme which we found has emerged consistently is the fact that parents also feel that, by getting a young girl child marriage, they are protecting, into invert commas, her chastity. Now, to answer this, just as the midday meal scheme has been extremely, beneficial in enhancing enrollment in schools, incentivizing parents by the grant of financial incentives for a girl child at every stage of her education. तो मान लीजिए 8वीं कक्षा पास होती है बेटी, उसके बाद वो 10वीं कक्षा पास होती है, 12वीं कक्षा पास होती है. तो if we give financial incentives to parents, that answers in a very significant way the interrelationship between poverty, lack of resources, and the move against the girl child. Because it's statistically proven in India, National Family Health Survey जो बना है, उसमें जो अब स्टेटिस्टिक्स आए हैं बाहर, उनसे ये पता चलता है कि जब आप किसी बेटी को पढ़ाते हैं 10वीं कक्षा तक या 12वीं कक्षा तक, उसके आगे the age of marriage correspondingly increases.
Yes.
And when the age of marriage increases, many of the problems which are associated with child marriage, those then get obliterated. For instance, one of the problems of child marriage is the fact that infant mortality may be high, maternal morbidity may be high. बेटी की शादी जब 16 साल के पहले हो, मान लीजिए कोई लड़की 14, 15, 16 साल में उसकी शादी हो जाती है, तो आप अक्सर देखते हैं कि बाकी जो चाइल्ड बर्थ की प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, चाइल्ड बर्थ भी जल्दी हो जाती है. उस लड़की को बाद में स्टेरिलाइजेशन जो होता है, मान लीजिए 2-3 बच्चे पैदा होते हैं, उसके बाद उसको स्टेरिलाइज करते हैं, तो स्टेरिलाइजेशन टेक्स प्लेस मच अर्लियर इन लाइफ फॉर दैट काइंड ऑफ अ गर्ल चाइल्ड. सो ये जो समस्याएं हैं, इनको चाइल्ड मैरिज का जो मसला है वो केवल यही इसी बात पर निर्भर नहीं है कि आप बेटी की शादी 18 साल के बाद कर लें या उसको 18 साल के बाद कर लें. क्यों ज़रूरी है? क्योंकि 18 साल के पहले जब शादी हो जाती है तो अनेक बाकी जो सामाजिक समस्याएं हैं वो उनको बढ़ावा दिया जाता है. तो इस जजमेंट में केवल ये कानूनी स्तर पर ये जजमेंट नहीं लिखा गया है. जब हमने पूरा जजमेंट लिखा तो उसमें हमने शुरुआत में रुकमा बाई की कहानी जो थी उनके लाइफ की, उसके बारे में हमने जिक्र किया. तो एक सामाजिक ये प्रॉब्लम है. तो जजमेंट केवल एक हाँ, न्याय संस्था ने जजमेंट लिखी है तो कानून को देखना ही है.